want to talk to you today a little bit about river safety. As fly fishermen, we have to wade the rivers. We have to do that because if we don't, we're going to get our flies in the bushes. And over the years of teaching fly fishing, fishing myself, and filming these videos and whatnot, one of the questions I get, or not even a question, it's basically, you know, the stories I hear about people falling in the water and getting swept down the river, slipping and hurting themselves. All these things are what I'm talking to you about today. It's stream safety. And if you're over the age of 40, there is absolutely no excuse for you not to be carrying a wading staff. A wading staff is something, it's a third point of contact on the river. And a lot of people have wading staffs, but it's almost a necessity, especially as you get up in age as an angler. It gives you that third point of contact, and that's where we lose on the river, and that's how we fall. We lose our 2 points of contact, and it just tips you over. Having that third point of contact is going to prevent you from falling. Now, we don't use a wading staff like a walking staff. No, we use a wading staff when we need it. And how we use a wading staff when we're crossing a river is really a touchy situation. So there's certain things that you really need to know when you're wading a river. First of all, the worst thing you can possibly ever do to a river is put yourself face first in the current. And the next thing that you can't do is put your back to the current. You always want to stay sideways to the current whenever possible. That way the current will hit you and wrap around you, and it will keep you stable in the river. If you're wading with your face into the current, or you're wading with your back to the current, it's going to push you. It's going to push you into the current, or it's going to move your legs from under you, and you're going to lose contact, and there you go, you've dunked yourself. By keeping yourself sideways, you will prevent that from happening. Now, what makes us fall in rivers are basically two things. The river's slippery, or our foot kicks a rock, and it leaves us with only 1 point of contact. So when we're using a wading staff should be used like a sword. It should be used out in front of you, and it should be used as a third point of contact, because when you kick a rock and you fall, that third point of contact is going to prevent you from falling forward. And it should be always used in front of you, not like you're walking on a river. So when I'm in a river and I don't want to cross the river, I just want to wade out to a section of the river and fish that section, and then I just want to turn around and walk back. I have no choice but to put myself in front of the river and back of the river, because I have to turn around. At that point, I'll plant my wading staff downriver, and I'll turn into that wading staff. And that's going to prevent me from falling over or getting stuck. Now, here's what I will say about wading staffs. Wading staffs have prevented me from falling down more times than I could ever mention in a video. The second thing a wading staff has done for me in previous times is it's really saved my life a couple of times by having it. And the neat thing about a wading staff, it also helps you scare away the rattlesnakes when you're walking down a trail. So go out and buy one. Wading staffs come in a variety of prices. They range anywhere from $50 all the way up to $250. What you want out of a wading staff are a couple things. One is it's got to fold down into small, short pieces. The second thing a wading staff has to do, it has to have a holster. It has to break down into a kind of like a tent pole that breaks down, and it has to go into your holster so that when you remove it, it just pops out into position and you're ready to use it. When you're all done, you just wrap it back, fold it back up, stick it back into your holster, and you're ready to move on. Now, a wading staff is not something that you use all the time. A wading staff is a tool that's there when you need it.